It's one of the rare occupations that you measure success by the number of strangers you can meet and that you can encounter as you try to make a sale or as you try to rent property, help rent property out. Now, we want to know how you can balance the need to engage in some at-risk behaviors, which includes meeting strangers or people you don't know, with the need to remain safe while you're conducting business. I tried to look up a percentage. I couldn't get one that was recent, but I was trying to figure out how many realtors, men versus women. I looked in a couple of spaces and it was some old statistics about it. And I say old because I do remember thinking a lot of realtors were women. For some reason, I don't know, my last 3 realtors have been women, but I think there are a lot of men in it now. So I don't know, I'm gonna try to find that out, okay? Some of the things I'm gonna say to you, you're gonna say, that's common sense, that's just elementary. And it's simple, I do that all the time. But as we take a look at how you go about your day, you're gonna realize, I don't pay attention at all. What am I doing out here? So I don't want you to overlook things that can keep you safe. Couple of definitions. Usually these are the things, the kinds of crimes that happen that the police department is dealing with when we have realtors. Assault, that's the illegal act of causing physical harm to someone or unwanted touching, physical contact of another person. Danger is the possibility of suffering harm or injury. And believe it or not, doing your job, you can place yourself in a lot of danger. Safety is the condition of being protected or unlikely to have you have danger or risk or injury to yourself. Strangers are simply a person who you do not know or with whom you are not familiar. You don't know their habits, you don't know what they do for fun, you don't have any information, because usually if you end up getting assaulted or you end up in some type of criminal activity with someone, there are a lot of things you're not going to be able to tell us about that person. Whereas if it was someone you knew beforehand, you could be able to help us find them, okay? Please feel free to stop me at any time if I say something that piques your interest or something you need. Property managers, I understand there was a difference between property managers and realtors. When I first started doing these presentations, I did not have that concept. So I put those definitions in. Property manager acts on behalf of an owner to preserve the value of the property while generating income, whereas realtors are people who act as an agent for the sale and purchase of something. So I want you all to know that I learned that. I'm smarter now as I do these. Oops, let me back up a slide. So I had a slide that showed a report of a realtor who was attacked while she was showing a home in Arizona. It was a few years ago. I'm going to let it play. They can hear it on, I hope they can hear it on the Zoom, but I'm going to have to describe it to you all. Oh, it won't let it play. So let me just give you the background. She's doing an open house. She does some things right. She goes to the open house ahead of time and she looks it over. She opens doors, bedroom doors, closet doors, things that, make sure no one's hiding in it. And then a gentleman comes and he acts like he wants to see the house. But as she's taking him through the house, she notices that he's doing weird things. He's unlocking windows. He wants to look at windows and he acts like he wants to see if they work, but he doesn't lock them back. He unlocks windows. He closes some doors. He unlocks a back door that she didn't have open before. And then after she kind of takes him through the house and she notices this strange behavior, he leaves. Well, she does call the police. That's the first thing. She calls the police and she lets them know, hey, there was a man here. I'm a realtor. I feel a little uncomfortable. And as the officer or the dispatcher is taking information from her, needless to say, she said he's gone. And the dispatcher says, well, if he returns, call us back. So they don't dispatch an officer right away because she says, I just want to let you know this happened, but he has left the premises. Well, then she gets on the phone with a friend, realtor, to call her and tell her about the experience as she's trying to go back through the home and re-secure it. And he does come back. And then he proceeds to attack her. While she's on the phone with the friend calls 911. The officers get there. He is arrested. But it was because she paid attention to start off with and noticed that something was awry that gave her that upper hand. and to get on the phone with a friend. Because most times you would have just hung up with the police and gone on about your business, maybe didn't have the phone in your hand. So you want to pay attention when you're at these open houses and when you're by yourself. Okay. Men are not exempt. They're looking at a slide where a property manager got robbed and he got injured. They hit him in the back of the head. He was renting out apartments. These people called and asked to have the apartment shown to them. So there were some things that the police had, their phone number they called from. They gave a fake name, of course, but there were some things to help with the solvability. However, the problem was they attacked the male. And you all can't see him, but he's a good sized man. He wasn't a the next slide that they're seeing on the Zoom is the photo of a house. And I really wish you all could see the house because what I believe, and if I'm wrong, tell me, say no, we'll sell any kind of house, but okay. See, and I want to make sure that that's the mentality because as a lay person, not in your realm, I'm always of a mind that you're after homes pristine or homes with okay. So
We'll have one of those next week.
okay, so I put a picture up of a house that I would think someone would see it, and if the owner said, I want to sell this home, well, let me tell you what I did, and you tell me where I'm wrong. I went online and I put in realtor.com my own home address. So for those of you on Zoom that can see that, that's my home. I put my own home up and I said, I want to sell my home. And my spouse was like, no, you don't. And I said, no, it's for class. So, and the reason why he knew was because I didn't know how this works, but I put my home up and about 2.5, 3, now about 5 minutes later, realtor.com called me. A young lady called me. And on the computer, it gave me 6 realtors to say, hey, these people, pick a realtor. I didn't even know it. I was like, who would I pick? I don't know how to pick them. But these are what I want to show you. So who's at risk? These are the kinds of things that I think your profession makes you put out that could cause you to be at risk for some type of crime. First person, and if you know these realtors, please let them know. I'm not picking on them. Theirs popped up to me. I just want to use them as an example. So there's a young man named Brian Stewart. He's Coldwell Banker. It gives me information, how long he's been doing it, 3 years, how many sales he's had in my area. It says 26. Okay, so I know that that's supposed to attract me to him. He said, well, he sells houses good. Maybe okay. But then it gives me the option of seeing some more information about him. The next realtor, and then I'll show you the difference. The next realtor is a young lady named Precious Taylor from eXp Realty. It tells me that she's been doing it 0 years and that she has 1 sale in my area. Okay. Then it gave me Justin Hamilton on Point Realty. He's been doing it 6 years and he had 42 sales in my area. Now, then I started to wonder, well, now, does that mean 42 houses in 6 years or just 42 houses around where I said my house was? And is that in the last 6 months? So now I'm trying to think like a consumer, like what would make me choose one of these people? Okay, so those 3 proposals, those are 3 of the proposals that out of the 6 that I saw. All right. Some things I think you ought to be doing, and then we're going to talk more about what those proposals showed me, all right? If in fact you're doing open houses, or even if you're just going to meet someone and start taking them out to look at homes, okay, you need to arrive early and check for signs of forced entry. Usually vacant homes attract a certain type of criminal, not one trying to attack a realtor, but one trying to take the copper pipes, one trying to stay in there and sleep if they're homeless, different kinds of things. Still a burglary though. Okay, so you want to check early. You want to make sure that and familiarize yourself with the property. Don't just go by what someone's put up online. Go look at it yourself. Go see, is there a screened-in porch? Is that porch locked? Is there a way to get out? How many entries and exits are there? Are the garage doors working? Working? Is the electricity on? So that you can have lights on and be able to maneuver through the house and not have yourself be at risk for someone doing something to you. Meet that buyer or that renter at your main office. And if you have some type of preliminary paperwork to have done, try to get it done in the office before you meet them out in the field. And more importantly, get valid ID from people. Those who are not trying to do something nefarious don't mind showing you their ID. If a person has a problem with showing you a state ID or a federal ID or something that's not expired, a flag should go off in your head, regardless of what kind of property they say they're trying to buy from you, okay? Now, this is the thing I think you all don't do well, and if I'm wrong, let me know. I have realtors in my head that you kind of keep your information and keep your leads and that kind of stuff to yourself, kind of like insurance people do. However, you need to notify coworkers of your appointment. At least let somebody in the office know. I have 4 appointments today. I'm going to 2 houses with this young person. I'm going to 2 houses with this old person, so that someone will know about where you are, and let them know about the renter or the buyer. I'm going with a lady, I'm going with a man, I'm going with a couple, whatever it is, let them know who you're going to be with. Have some kind of buddy system, or at least get one coworker that can record a description of the vehicles that they come in when they meet you at the office, what they're driving, what they leave in. And then if we can't find you in 2 hours, we have some types of lead that we can give to the police. If we're going to call the police officers and say, we need to make a report, we can't find one of our coworkers. She's not answering her phone. He's not answering the phone, that kind of thing. And I think you all are good at this, but I think you're good at this in the realm of talking about houses. But learn how to engage in small talk that elicits background information. Okay, so you don't want to ask them just, oh, what's your price point? What kind of house are you looking for? What's your budget? Where are you from? Do you have family here? Do you have kids? Or, things that they think are asking them questions about accommodating the house they need, but you're really getting background information that can help in case this person turns from a prospect to a suspect. All right, so learn to ask questions that people think is just small talk. All right. So let's go back to these 3 realtors, all right? So Brian, Realtor.com gives you the opportunity to put up a bunch of information about yourself if you're willing to share it. Brian's information told me he's a U.S. Army Ranger, he's Special Forces, he became a seasoned real estate investor and a landlord, and he's a broker with Caldwell Banker. He's a certified military relocation specialist. I know what none of this means. However, he knows the area. He's lived in the following counties: Cumberland, Hoke, Sampson. Then he says, faith is also important. I go to Grace Chapel Church in Sanford. All right. I know a lot about him. Okay. I know a lot about him. Now, I'm not sure if he puts that all up because he thinks it makes him more personable and he connects, or if he just likes to talk about himself. But as a realtor and him doing things by himself, he's giving folks a lot of information about him that they may not be using just to pick a realtor. Okay. Now, so in my opinion, as a person who won't tell people, even if I'm married, I don't wear my rings while I'm working, I think it's a lot of information. Precious Taylor, the other young lady. Now, she's a young lady, so I looked at hers. All she says is, I'm a passionate and dedicated real estate professional. I specialize in helping clients buy, sell, and invest in properties that meet their unique needs and goals. With a deep understanding of the market and a commitment to personalized service, I strive to make every transaction seamless and rewarding. That is under her More About Precious. I don't know if she's married. I don't know if she has kids. I don't know where she lives. I don't know where she's from. I don't know if she goes home at night to just her cat and I want to follow her home. I don't know if her husband's a black belt and he's waiting for somebody to bother his wife so he can snap her neck. I have no idea. All right. And that is the way you should want to keep it. Okay. That now I'm not saying now. I read that 12 times and it didn't move me to go, ooh, she's the one necessarily, but I don't know anything about her that could be used against her. Okay. So if anybody knows Precious, tell her the crime prevention specialist goes, yay. Okay. Some things you can do to give yourself more familiarity with people you're going to be meeting once you put them on your list. Okay. Run background checks on them. Just simple kinds of checks, all right? I know there's some things.
We got four.
Yes.
All
All right, well, use it.
Oh, yeah.
Learn how to use it, learn how to use it, learn how to link it. If something comes up, don't ignore it. You know, if it's something that's really, really concerning, ask them. People who haven't been doing anything crazy don't mind talking about stuff. It's the people who do crazy things that don't want to talk about it. Look at their social media. If someone says to you, my name is Young Thug and I want to buy a house because I'm a rapper. But when you look him up and you see things that are concerning to you, people with money don't flash money.
Right. That's new.
Okay, people with money don't flash money.
Old money.
Okay,
Yeah.
old money don't even let you know they got old money. That's why they still got old
That's why
money.
they get old money.
Okay, but if you look and sure enough, you see a social media page and he's standing beside Jay-Z, and he's won Grammys and all that stuff, then you know, and then you know his mom's on there and his real name is Daryl Evans or whatever, you know, then that's different. But if you look on there and he's got his, you know, shirt off and he's just flashing money and you look at it really close and you be like, that don't even look like it's all money. Is there some paper in there? Pay attention. You know, people tell you who they really are when they think you're not looking to find out. So just take some extra steps and see, okay? Make yourself contact records, make your contact records and your calendars detailed. Consider using some type of shareable calendar that someone in the office can have access to so that they can readily access where you should have been. Keep it up if you do that. If you get an appointment that's canceled, make sure you mark it canceled on the calendar. Okay. Life 360 and Find My Phone. If you're in the field, activate that so someone, even your spouse, if you don't want your coworkers doing it, at least let a spouse or a loved one know. So then a coworker can call and say, hey, can you check to see where Sharon is? Because we haven't heard from her. She's not answering the phone. Okay. Utilize guest registers in your offices. Have your office staff make up something really, really cute for people to sign in. Tell them that they're being entered into a contest. Maybe once a month, give someone something, a pen, a cup, you know, something. But have that register require full name, address, phone number, and some vehicle information. You know, act like it's for their safety as well as yours. And then try to show your properties before dark. Make sure you charge your cell phones. You look up and see your phone ain't got but 11% and it's lunchtime. Charge it up before you leave the office to go somewhere. Okay, make sure your cell phones stay charged. And I'm horrible about that. Okay, the Zoom people can see a slide that says, what do you see? And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, it's got 6 signs on it. So while they're looking at it, because now they know it's going to be some kind of test, I need to hurry up and look at it and memorize it. Okay. Usually at this point, I ask you, what was the address on the placard? Did you see the money bag? Realtors all saw the money bag. Every time I've done it, they see the money bag. They don't see the other stuff, but they see the money bag. They see the bag. They see the bag. What I will have so that Zoom and you all too, that I'm standing in front of you can do. I've been up in front of you, I don't know, about 10, 20, 15 minutes maybe. Close your eyes, don't cheat. Those in the Zoom, you can't answer me anyway, but pay attention to the things you didn't pay attention to. So for those of us in the room, just a couple of questions, because I'm not threatening to you. Sometimes you pay attention, sometimes you don't. Just yell these answers out. What color is my shirt?
Blue.
Okay, what color are my pants?
Dark blue. Black.
Okay, shoes.
Probably black.
They just saying black now. They don't know. Okay, Zoom people, let me just tell you, they saying black. Ain't nobody looking at my feet and all that. Well, she in a uniform. She probably gotta have black shoes. But one day I'm gonna wear like bright red ones or something. How many pens in my pocket?
1.
3.
1 and 3. All right. Left-handed or right-handed?
You talk with your left hand.
Okay. Glasses or no?
Yes,
Yeah.
glasses.
What color hair?
White strands and a red.
Okay, thank you. The pretty came in. I heard that part. All right, ladies, don't help the gentlemen. Gentlemen, and both of you answer. Don't be afraid. I will not fight you. How much do I weigh? Men, don't answer women. You know, women can help. Don't answer. Men, how much do I weigh? Just yell out a number. Go ahead.
142.
43, 45, is that what I heard? Love you both. Ladies, gentlemen, don't you help. Ladies, how tall am I?
3.
5'3". You looking 5'3", 5'4", but okay, 5'5". Okay. Anything else you would be able to tell a police officer about me if I robbed you and ran away that you would think would help him find me?
You blended your hair.
Okay.
Hair.
Any jewelry? I said I don't wear
You
rings.
said no ring.
Yeah, I did point out no ring.
No, I think you have a bracelet.
Okay, bracelet. Okay.
You have your earrings on.
Okay, I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah.
You tell me. I'm not gonna help you find me. I'm not gonna tell you. You tell me. Okay, you can open your eyes. That is about you automatically looking at things, and sometimes you see them and sometimes you don't. Okay, you're pretty good on colors. Most people are. Usually men are the ones that are colorblind, with the blues and the darks and the blacks and stuff. So yeah, it's light blue, navy blue. I do have on black shoes. That's just a good guess though. Y'all had nothing. Okay. It depends on what you saw me doing. I am right-handed if you see me doing writing and that kind of thing. The problem with that is you all didn't see me do anything that would give you any indication. If in fact something happens to you, don't guess. Things that they ask you that we ask, if you don't know, say you don't know. All right. And I do talk. I talk with both my hands. I'm not talking with this one as much because it's injured and it's hurt. So I don't want to move it around a lot. But if you saw me eating, I'd be left-handed. If you saw me shooting a shotgun or a pool cue, I'd be left-handed. But I shoot my handgun right-handed and I write right-handed. So I'm really confused. It depends on what you see me doing. I don't know why I'm that way. I just did. Jewelry, yes, I did have on a bracelet of some sort. The rubber band was, I don't know why I had that on me. I just did. I don't wear earrings. I try not to because if I got in a fight, it's an old habit from policing. When you get in a fight, you don't want your hoops pulled. And once you learn how to not wear them, I just don't wear them. 2 pens. I put 2 in there on purpose, just to see. Usually I don't have any. Glasses, yes. Things that you want to try to remember about people or things that you think for yourself. What are the things that I would never throw away? Those of us who wear glasses will never throw our glasses away. Ladies, we will always keep our earrings in. Men, you got a favorite belt, you got a favorite pair of shoes. Okay, there's just something. Women are historically poor on height because everyone is taller than us. Unless you're a person who's dealing with some kind of, profession where you have to know it. Women are horrible about height and distance. Men are horrible about women's weight because women train you. Every time we say, baby, does this make me look fat? You go, no, you look good now. So men are historically bad about weight on women, not necessarily about one another, but you're horrible with it on women. I weigh 152 this morning. I got up and weighed on purpose. So you were close, but 152, and you wouldn't have said north of 150 to save your life. In fact, because you just, and women, we just don't know. So when I became an officer, I was horrible at height also and distance. Men know what 5 yards is. They play football, they watch football. We could care less. Okay. But I tell women, but you do watch with your honeys. And if you don't have a child playing that sport, you do. So try to learn distance. Height, I go around asking extremely tall people and extremely short people how tall they are and how short they are. Because in between, you just kind of gauge. All right. But you get better at it by looking and asking questions. Okay. Have patience with my what they're seeing at the Zoom, I think, is a card that says help us help you. We have a police card that the dispatchers are going to ask you certain questions if you call and you're the victim of any type of crime. So height, weight, clothing, anything out of the ordinary about the person, if they got an eye patch on, mention it, okay, kind of thing. Cars. Men usually are better at cars than we are. I can tell you certain cars, but I can't tell you 1969 Bel Air, I don't know any of that kind of stuff. But try to pay attention when you are. Don't give your clients rides. Let them follow you. Oh, y'all don't do that anymore?
No, they made the speech about.
Okay, have them follow you or meet you there?
If I got GPS.
Okay, good. Good. So that's a good practice. I have to remember that you're doing that now because I rode with both my realtors when I was getting my house. Suspicious. Everybody has a different definition of what's suspicious. However, in your world, If someone does something that is suspicious or out of the ordinary to you and it causes a flag, pay attention to the flag. Okay, because you know. All right, you know what's suspicious, you know what looks crazy. A person that wants to avoid being clearly seen, hot as it is, you got people with hats and sunglasses and overcoats and stuff on, that's a problem, okay? That behavior may indicate they're in criminal activity or that they're about to commit a crime. And this just isn't when you're out doing your realty stuff. It's out when you just going grocery shopping. If if you're out at the mall, I'd be surprised at how many people will say to us after, you know what, I saw them and I knew they were up to no good. But they call anybody. They just will. I knew they were up to no good, but I didn't call anybody. Right. Okay. So people who wander around aimlessly. So that's why you have to pay attention to your surroundings. If you're in a open house or you're somewhere waiting for somebody, and somebody drive past that house 6 times, try to catch the license plate number and write it down. And then call. Don't just write it down so you can have it. Just call the police and say, look, I'm at this open house. This car has passed by 6 times. Nobody has gotten out or come to the house. It's not who I'm expecting, but this is the license plate number. Dispatchers will take it. They'll run it. See where, and they might say, oh, it lives over there. Or it might be like, that's from Lillington. What they doing down there? So, and they'll send an officer in the area. Okay. Anytime you got people that are willing to enter a restricted or an unauthorized area, that's a problem. Okay. Because law abiding citizens don't do that. Signs keep people out who are law abiding. Those who don't pay attention to the law don't pay attention to the signs. So call the police. Okay. If you see anybody out somewhere trying to open multiple doors, see anybody pulling door handles, right now Fayetteville's hot about cars being broken into. That is misleading. I have not had a vehicle in my area of the city broken into in over 6 months. They have been entered, but that's because you all don't lock them. Okay. And I tell people, I don't care. Now, don't get me wrong, the crime's the same. But if I don't have to have any effort to get in your car, I have to watch my poker face because I don't feel sorry for people when they call me and tell me, well, I left it open because I didn't want them to break the window. They don't break the window. But you left it open with all your stuff in it. The laptops in there, the cameras in there, the keys to the other car are in there. So they stole the other car. The weapon was in the glove box. You left everything in there, but you were worried about the window.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, my thieves tend to just pull door handles. If the door opens, they go inside. If it doesn't, they go up the street. And there's enough Ring cameras to show me that is true. That is their MO. They're not breaking windows. They don't want the alarm to go off. They don't want the glass to be heard. They're not breaking windows. Okay. You can find out from the Fayetteville Police Department, even for you realtors, this might be a selling point for you. If you're going to be selling homes in a specific neighborhood, you can call crime prevention and find out if they have a community watch group. Because most of the community watch groups are registered with us because they hold meetings, we do things for them. So you can find out if there's a community watch group in the area. That might be a selling point. If it's a new neighborhood and it's not, you can give out our information and tell them once this kind of gets full, if you don't have an HOA, or even if you do, and you'd like to explore having a community watch, call crime prevention, call the Fayetteville Police Department, okay? Community watch is simply a way for us to partner with those neighbors to reduce crime. Okay, it's a way to establish ownership of the community, get to know your neighbors. People don't do like they used to do when we were growing up. My mom knew everybody up and down our street, us, and they were allowed to spank us, and they were allowed to tell my mom I was acting up and all sorts of stuff. Didn't get to do that though. So my phone number, my name, I have a partner. His name is Thomas Robin. Your office is right here in Central District. The Fayetteville Police Department has 3 districts: Central, Campbellton, and Cross Creek. You're in Central District, but if you're selling all over the city, there are 6 crime prevention specialists in total, and there's 2 for each district. You can call me, tell me where the house is that you're interested in selling or someone has asked you about. I will tell you whose district it is in. I can also give you a preliminary report about how the crime is in that area in a certain mile radius. So, or as big as a mile radius as you want. So feel free to get that kind of information. Sometimes it's good information if you've got a client who's on the fence about should I buy over here or should I buy over there. Sometimes that can help you help them make their decision.
Is that the same, Sharon, is that the same kind of report that you guys give out at the community watch meetings for the area?
Mhm.
I love it. Our group disbanded, but when we had it, you could look at that and see everything.
Mhm.
Traffic stops, whatever.
Burglaries, alarms,
Yeah.
but false alarms, any type of crime, if there's a calls for service in that area. And so if you call me and give me an address, if you say, 1313 Mockingbird Lane, I'd like to know what kind of crime is around there. I usually try to pull it up within like 3-4 mile radius. If they live in an area that's close to a shopping center or something like that, I tend to try to exclude the shopping center because you're going to have a higher volume of crime because people are shoplifting. But I'm talking about residential crimes and crimes that they might be susceptible to have happen to them. That I will pull those up for you. We can print it off and give it to you, or we can just tell you, that was pretty quiet over there. You can tell them that it's a really quiet neighborhood, or I try to be diplomatic. If I've got one that's hot, I try to at least tell you why. I said, you know what, we have some calls over there, but criminals have learned that people don't lock their cars, so they tend to hunt. Well, think about it. If you go to a fishing hole and you catch a lot of fish, you remember that hole and you go back. So if they go in a neighborhood and they get 7 or 8 cars, they'll wait a week because people will talk. They'll be like, oh my God, my car got broken into. And for about 3 days, they try to pay attention. And then they go back to what they're, used to doing. So they'll come back. I mean, we human nature. We go back to where we're successful. So with that said, any questions? Any concerns?
And you guys would do, if I remember, if someone's on vacation, you can have the police do.
Yes, so we have what's called house security checks. So if you're leaving, and I tell people, tell your clients this too, don't brag about the fact you're going, brag about the fact that you went.
Mhm.
So when you're planning the trip, don't say, oh my gosh, I can't wait. Next week we're going to Cancun for a month. Don't say that. Just go to Cancun for a month. Nobody's been able to find your car. And then when you get back, put up on social media, girl, we went to Cancun for a month. Look at the pictures. We had a ball because now you're back home. But we will come and do a house security check. And when I say we do that, understand, we don't just drive by and say, well, the front door is not kicked in. They are required to get out of their vehicle. Patrol officers have to get out. They will walk the perimeter of the house. They have to look at all the windows. They have to check all the doors. I tell my people in my area, if you have a Ring camera, tell me, because I will tell the officer, ring it. Because wherever they are, they're gonna get the notice. At least they could, and they tell me, they were talking to me through the camera. Hi, thank you, and all this stuff. So it's not me. Someone once told me, I'm not gonna tell you I got one because that's just you letting them know so they'll do it right. I'm like, no, they'll notify you they're on your property so that you have peace of mind. Because you're also gonna get rung at 3:30 in the morning when the night guy does it. So yeah, he's gonna ring you if just to let you know I've done it. I'm over here. I'm walking around. You can see me. They're not they're not shy. They got their camera on too, so it doesn't matter. But we will do house security checks. They are free. You can do them. I have a lady that leaves town about 7 times a year, and we check her house all 7 times she goes.
So you go out once
No,
in a period or what?
different times of the day. So
Okay.
24/7. Weekends count too. And if you're lucky, what you'll get is a squad that has rookies on it that are being trained. So that's a way to make them find a house. They have to find their way in town. Then they have to learn how to do them. So you might get checked at 10 in the morning, and then at 3:30 that afternoon, and then at 9 p.m. that night. They don't look and go, oh, they've been checked twice. I ain't checked it.
Oh.
Everybody, they free, they'll go check. They'll go look. Because nothing puts egg on our face more than we had a house security check, and then 2 days went by and we didn't do it.
Right.
So they're not gonna do that. They make sure that and they log.
Mhm.
So I can tell when they went. If you've ever seen those calls for service, it'll say house security check, and it'll be 17 of them on there in that 5 or 6 day period of time that you're gone. And then they do it different times of the day and night. So if someone is watching,
Mhm.
they say, oh, they come every day at 2 o'clock.
Right.
No,
Mhm.
morning, noon, and night. So, and then believe it or not, we like to look at your houses and, see, that was a pretty one. At least when I was on patrol, I used to do that all the time. I used to want to look at them and, even with the burglary, if I found one that had been broken into, When you go on vacation, clean up before you go. Cause if we have to go inside, we will go inside.
So what are your thoughts about, realtors carrying a weapon, having a gun with you?
I think every human has a right to have a weapon and you should have one as long as you learn how to shoot it. Doesn't do you any good if you really know in your heart that you don't have the capacity to shoot someone. Because now they're gonna take it from you. Now they got it done.
Yeah,
Right.
So I am of a mindset that if you know that if I had to save my life or the life of my coworker or the life of my child, I would shoot you. And then go get a weapon, go take a class, go learn how to shoot it, go learn how to keep it maintained. If you think to yourself, I could never shoot a person, I just couldn't, then go get you some mace, go get some of that stuff, Life 360, get
Yeah.
other means, put them on your phone, do other things to protect yourself. But I don't have, I mean, and we're an open carry state. Now I hate open carry because some people walk around with a gun. I be thinking you ain't got no business with a weapon. But that's just my personal opinion. And I ain't crazy enough to go try to take it from them and see. Cause you know, they could be Columbo, like they look like they're crazy, but they're not, you know. But yes, if you want a weapon and you think that you would feel better about it, I just say learn how to use it.
my husband makes me carry one, and I used to, in Washington State, I did the class and stuff.
What part of Washington?
Riverton.
Oh, I know
in
Riverton.
Navy.
In Navy, yeah. I was in Seattle for 21 years. I worked for Seattle Peace Corps. I
We
retired.
were there for 4 years.
Yeah.
But, so I did go into a house, that the front door was locked, but the back door was open.
You went in there even though you found the door open?
I didn't know the door was open.
Oh,
until
you had
I-
already been in. Okay.
Mhm.
I thought you meant you saw it and thought, let me go clear the house.
No. And this was the one time I had forgotten to carry my gun.
Wow.
But he keeps me on 360, you know.
Life
both of that,
360,
Yeah,
yeah.
Life 360. And so, so I walked back out, I called the agent, cause I was showing it, they didn't answer. I called my husband, he didn't answer, which I'm thinking, what good is it? I'm gonna answer when I call. So I called my daughter, she's in Georgia, and she's like, Mama, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know.
But it never dawned on you to call the police?
I said, you call 911 if something happens to me.
No, you call 911. Let us make sure nothing happens to you. So, and let me put that out there in the creation. I do get a lot of citizens who say, I don't like to call 911 because it's not really an emergency. And I always say, that's like not really being present. I mean, there's no such thing. There's really no such thing, okay? In the city of Fayetteville, if there is an issue and you need a patrol officer, a uniformed officer to respond, that is the only way you can get them.
Yeah.
So 911 for us is not the screaming, hollering, oh my God, help me! And we can't figure out. We hope you call when they say, hey, you know, I'm showing a house and this was not supposed to be unsecured and it is. And I would just like an officer to come by and check because I don't want to take my client in there and have us both be susceptible to whatever's in there. And it might not be anything.
Right, it was.
And we love to be the hero. There's a whole bunch of going there and search like they're doing it like on TV. We just walk in and open doors and stuff. We don't let you know that, you know, and then we come out and go, ma'am, it's safe, you know. Of course not.
I'm like, stay on the phone, I'm walking through the house. She was like, what am I like? I got clients coming, just hang.
See, so you went in by yourself.
Yeah.
Client find your legs out from under the house like the Wicked Witch of the West. Now you're traumatizing client. No, call 911, please. We are, I mean, and if nothing else, I would have rather you call 911 and told the dispatcher, just hang on the phone with me while I'm waiting for the officer. I'm going, and she would tell, don't go in there or whatever. But at least it would have been somebody that could have told the police, go now, go now, go now, go now. I just lost her. She wouldn't listen to me. She went in and got you know, because lights and siren, that's the other thing we do a lot of. So please though, anything, I'm telling those who are listening to me on Zoom and 911, I know it makes you think it needs to be when you're yelling and screaming and somebody's dying and you can't get the bleeding to stop. But that is about getting police officers to where you are for a situation that may or may not be dangerous for you. Okay, now don't call us because you're lonely and ain't got nobody talking to you. I want to see what y'all were doing today, Sunday afternoon. But if you see us riding around and you wave and flag them down, they'll talk to you. Now they are. They'll stop and talk to you, say hello. You can ask questions. Get to know the officer that's in your area that is patrolling. We try to make ourselves be kind of stationary where they get to know it and the familiarity of it, because they want to see when things are suspicious too. It may look like you got a new one every 10 hours, but they actually work 12-hour shifts, and they usually are assigned to an area. They try to get to know you. So, all right.
I gotta tell you something funny about Rain. I have a friend who, she lives in a nice area, but there's about 6 or 7 neighbors that all know each other and they're real close, and they all have Ring doorbell. One of them's cat. He learned how to reach up, hit the thing, and once it did, it went to the other houses.
Activated them all.
And they could see it on the camera, but it would come like in the middle of the night and reach up and hit the
And hit the doorbell. That's what we do in the middle of the night. If you got a Ring camera and we're doing a house security check, we'll activate it just so you know that we give you peace of mind. All right. Well, thank you for your attention. I appreciate it. Those on Zoom, thank you very much. I'm not turning this off because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to scare it up. But someone will come in here and
we'll get
get it off for me. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.